Sitting in the cold courtroom, watching my husband of 6 years laugh with his lawyer while signing our divorce papers, I felt a strange sense of calm. He genuinely believed I was still that naive girl from a quiet town, someone with zero ambition who could easily be pushed aside. He had spent months secretly seeing his coworker while treating me like an afterthought. He had no idea that while he was busy destroying our marriage, I was building an empire right underneath his roof. The judge was finally preparing to examine my financial disclosures, and I knew his arrogant smile was about to vanish completely. Before I reveal the exact moment his expression turned to pure panic, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you have ever fought back when everyone underestimated you, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to help support these stories. My journey started years ago when I moved away from home to pursue a finance degree in the city. My parents were humble folks who taught me the value of every single dollar, a lesson that became my greatest strength. I met my ex at a local coffee shop while studying for an advanced exam. He came from a family of wealthy attorneys and carried an air of entitlement that I mistakenly mistook for true confidence. He looked at my textbooks and told me I had potential as long as I had the right guide. Back then I thought it was sweet, but later I realized it was his way of establishing control over my entire life. Our romance moved fast, filled with high-end dinners and weekend getaways that felt like something out of a movie. But almost immediately, he began trying to alter who I was. He criticized my modest wardrobe, judged my old friends, and treated my entry-level accounting job like a silly hobby. He constantly reminded me that he could provide everything, completely missing the point that my work gave me independence and purpose. After 18 months together, he proposed during a fancy trip, organizing a flashy public scene that made it almost impossible to say no. We married in a quiet ceremony that I had to fight for, since his mother constantly reminded me that my background was not quite up to their standards. Moving into his massive home felt more like moving into a museum than a home for a newlyweds. He rejected every piece of decor I brought, preferring a cold minimalist style that reflected his status. Within months, he questioned every small purchase I made for myself while casually spending thousands on his own personal hobbies without a second thought. Slowly but surely, he isolated me from my family and friends. Trips back home were dismissed as a waste of time, and my college friends stopped visiting after he made several condescending remarks about their simple lifestyles. When I was offered a promotion at work, he discouraged me from taking it, claiming we would be starting a family soon. Yet whenever I brought up having children, he pushed the idea away, claiming the timing was not right. That was when I realized I needed a safety net. I quietly opened my own separate bank account and began taking online courses in business management and strategic investing during my free time. My passion shifted toward financial consulting for independent business owners. I registered a small consulting business under my own name and quietly set up a workspace in our guest room while he was away on business trips. My first major opportunity came when I helped a local catering owner fix her cash flow problems and drastically boost her profits. Word of mouth spread quickly, bringing more clients my way. I worked late into the night, hiding my income and reinvesting every dollar back into my growing company. My confidence grew with every successful contract, even as my husband continued to treat me like a dependent. Through a client, I connected with a seasoned entrepreneur who taught me how to scale my business and make strategic investments in emerging tech startups. I raised my rates, expanded my portfolio, and watched my wealth accumulate rapidly without my husband noticing a thing. The turning point in our marriage came when a mysterious text popped up on his phone while he was away from the room. Suspecting an affair, I tracked his routine and eventually followed him to an expensive downtown restaurant. I walked in and caught him holding hands with his female colleague, bringing our hidden marital problems into the light. When confronted, he offered weak excuses and even blamed my busy schedule for driving him away. I pretended to consider reconciliation just to buy myself time to consult with an exceptional divorce lawyer. Things escalated when he accidentally discovered a search on my laptop regarding marital asset distribution. He flew into a rage, threatening that his family legal team would leave me with absolutely nothing. Shortly after, I caught him bringing his mistress directly into our home. He coldly informed me that he wanted a divorce and expected me to pack my bags and walk away with a tiny settlement offer. His legal team sent a pitiful settlement proposal, expecting me to sign away all rights to our shared assets out of fear. With my attorney guiding me, I rejected the offer and initiated formal financial discovery. While his lawyers tried to stall, I continued to build my business, eventually securing a massive corporate contract and launching a highly successful financial app. He continued to underreport his assets and lie to the court, completely unaware that I had documented every hidden account. He assumed I was broke, powerless, and desperate, clinging to a narrative that no longer matched reality. Now, standing in the courtroom, the judge called the room to order and opened the financial portfolio submitted by both sides. My husband sat back with a confident smirk, expecting the judge to grant him total victory. But as Judge Williams reviewed the documents detailing my company value, investment funds, and corporate holdings, her eyes widened. She paused, looked directly at my husband, and questioned why he had failed to disclose multiple joint accounts while trying to minimize a spouse whose personal net worth far exceeded his own. The color drained from his face as his attorney frantically flipped through the pages of our financial disclosure. The arrogant grin he had worn all morning vanished into sheer disbelief as he realized the woman he had belittled for years was financially superior to him. The judge rejected his proposed settlement on the spot and ordered an equal division of all marital property, while keeping my pre-developed business assets protected. Walking out of that courtroom into the morning sun, I left behind the shadow of a man who thought he could control me, knowing I had built my own freedom from the ground up.